This should be fun. Hi friends! It's Brittany and I am back with the question and answer from Instagram. So I am gonna go through all of the questions that you all asked me. Some of you are here for this question and this question alone, so I'm gonna be very clear and very precise when answering it because I know that there are going to be a bunch of follow-up questions. So the question is, basically, how did you lose 25 pounds or 20 pounds in that first, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that? Like, what specifically did I do? What specifically did I eat? How often did I do all of the things? So here we go. I wanted to jumpstart my weight loss, so I joined Orange Theory. And I went nearly every day. I went as much as I could. And I would do that probably in the morning, if I could. In the afternoon, if I had the energy and if I had the time, I would go back to the gym and either do some stair climber or do weights. So I was going and doing 1 a day, sometimes 2 a days. I overnight started forcing myself to try to drink as much water as possible with the goal of being able to complete a gallon. Some days I did, some days I didn't. I firmly believe that there are levels to that because your body has to get used to taking in that much water. And so at first, I just chugged. I wasn't trying to sip all day because I would be peeing all day, but I felt like, I don't know if this is a real thing, but I felt like if I chugged the water, then I would only have to pee one time. Again, I feel like it's working, but I could be tricking myself into believing that. There's no telling. And my food, here we go. Lean meats, vegetables, complex carbohydrates. I am a creature of habit, so typically you're gonna see me with some form of ground turkey. I'm not a huge fan of vegetables. I don't necessarily love them, but I try to mix them into whatever it is that I'm trying to do. You guys see me making a bunch of taco bowls and things like that. That's what I ate, with either a jasmine rice or a red potatoes. It was a strict bikini competitor's diet. That's what I wanted to start on. I wanted to mentally start myself on the path of competing. So that's why the diet was that strict. Listen to me, people. Do not stop right here. You cannot eat that forever. Competitors don't eat that year round. And more than likely, if you go from eating all the things to trying to eat that, you're gonna do exactly what I did, and your body is going to be pissed. So my hormones were going up and down, I was moody. All of those things are real physiological responses to cutting your food and to giving your body something different than what it's used to. And if you saw my first video, I'll link that below. I'm an extremist, that's what I do. So if you haven't already seen that video, go back and watch it because I kind of talk through my thought process and what I was thinking about at that point to get me started. So I guess if I didn't thoroughly answer that and keep me honest, leave that below. Do I wear a waist trainer? I'm not the biggest fan of waist trainers. They're not the most comfortable to me. Everything works differently for everyone. So that would be one where I would tell you, if you really just feel like it, do it. But what I also will say, when you're wearing something really uncomfortable around your midsection and they're really good, I didn't eat as much because the shit was uncomfortable at the beginning of the day. So eating after that just wasn't that fun. So there might be something to that. I don't recommend wearing something that's so tight that you can't eat. By the way, like digestion and health and stuff. Do I do fitness full time? No. I have a real corporate job that I go to Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends. You guys see that I travel a lot for work, and I work out in my spare time and I do my research in my spare time, and I obviously YouTube in my spare time, and I make it sound like I have a lot of spare time. It's not like that. So that is where I am finding the balance so that I can make sure that I'm giving you guys everything that you're looking for while also fulfilling my real life responsibilities, which obviously, you know, rent and stuff. So the real responsibilities come first. Are me and Reggie married? Reggie and I are not married. We will get married at some point. We're not really in a rush. I'm not going anywhere, he's not going anywhere. Obviously, we live together, so I'm not terribly worried about it. And it's fun. Like, he's my best friend. We have a great time together, and I'm learning how to be in a relationship. So I am such an only child that I've been extremely selfish for a majority, all of my life. And I'm adjusting to having a whole nother human that I care about, and adjusting to being a good girlfriend, and adjusting to being his partner. And that, y'all, that's work. If anybody ever tells you that relationships are not work, they're lying, because they're work. And I'm learning. So we just started couples counseling for like the marriage thing, and y'all know I'm a big fan of marriage counseling, or just counseling in general. Yes to all of it, because it's nice to have somebody who can help you facilitate rough conversations, or help you get to the bottom of something that you don't even know how to put into words, or just ask good questions that get us thinking. All of those things are happening, and if that's something you guys are interested in hearing about in terms of like the growth in our relationship or the things that I'm learning, feel free to comment below. Find me on Instagram. I'm happy to delve into whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. All right, do I get skinny shamed? People tell me all the time that my head is big. My head is big as hell. Like, it is. And like, the thinner I get, the more like long and like angular my face is. I mean, it's my face, so I don't really know what I'm supposed to do about that. But as I get smaller and those things start becoming more prominent, everybody has an opinion. I liked you better when you were bigger. Can you put more weight on? Are you a little hungry? Like, yeah, it happens all the time. Or my favorite question is, how much weight are you going to lose? I think that people ask that in the kindest of ways, meaning that I guess to me, or to them, that I'm not as attractive as I once was, but we got goals, so I mean, it is what it is. I know what I signed up for. It's not my favorite, but it doesn't change who I am. And I'm really happy with the person that I'm becoming. So the outside is the outside, but like, this has to happen in order to have like the abs and to have all of that. So I'm only gonna be like scary, skinny, lean for that small period around shows or during a show season. And then after that, I am going to stay probably at the weight that I am now. Where did I lose weight, and why do my boobs still look good? I think that that's a funny question. I know what you were trying to ask. My boobs, like, I paid for these like 5 or 6 years ago. They are my favorite investment that I've ever made. And the sad thing was, I wasn't as large when I first got them, and then I gained weight. So they got enormous. And then as I'm losing weight, they're settling back into where I wanted them to be originally. But at some point I'm gonna need a revision, just because losing all of the weight, or gaining all of the weight and then losing it back, they're not like the same as they once were, but I appreciate you guys for noticing. What does my food currently look like? I am on If It Fits Your Macros, flexible dieting, so I like kind of consistency. If I can figure out how to make something that I really like, I just eat it a bunch. So right now I'm eating a lot of tuna and guacamole mixed together. It may sound nasty, but if you like tuna and if you like guacamole, it is incredible. I put that in with a pita. Sometimes I break up the pita and make pita chips. I do a lot of like taco bowls with jasmine rice or cauliflower rice. I do a lot of shredded chicken a bunch of different ways, and crock pot chicken. I do, that's a lot, G-Butter, duh. Y'all, I love G-Butter. It is, I didn't even like sweets before I kind of started on this competition, like prep and competition diet. And so as a result, like my taste buds are just completely different. I didn't love donuts before it wasn't a thing for me. Yo, I can put down some donuts now. I don't know when that happens either. I also eat a lot of like acai bowls and granola that I make at home. I do just, it depends on the day and the week and how I'm feeling. I do a lot of ground turkey. My body responds well to ground turkey. It's super easy. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. That's pretty much what I eat. Yeah. What do my workouts consist of? My workouts are basic. You guys, you can literally go on Pinterest and find everything that you need. Like if you went on Pinterest and looked up workout for beginners, I do that. If you looked up, competition workout, they're all the same. It's just basic functional exercises with weight to target and sculpt various different parts of the body. So for me, my build is kind of long and lean. I don't have hips whatsoever. I'm very squared and very narrow through my hips, so we're working on rounding that out. I have found, right, that I have a smaller waist, but I've got to tighten it up. So there's not a lot of circumference, but I've got to make sure that I'm like doing the proper like vacuuming and breathing exercises, which tighten up my core and midsection and allow me to be able to hold my posture and my poses better. So that's something that I'm also working on. Hamstrings and glutes, period. Bigger glutes, tighter hamstrings. Bigger glutes, tighter hamstrings. That is going to be the theme of probably forever when I'm competing, because competitions truly are one from the back. My arms. I lift fairly heavy with arms because I like having nice arms. I think that it's an attractive thing. I love Angela Bassett's arms, so that's kind of what I was going for. And she's just like really nice and sculpted and lean. That's a big player in it. The body fat has to be low in order for that to happen. Kind of going back to what I said earlier, diet is 90% of it. Anybody can work out, anybody can go into the gym and like do the workouts that I do. I show it to you guys on Instagram. Let me know what you want to see and I'll film that specifically. But that diet, it is so hard to eat consistently to the level that will get you that lean. It is a whole nother level of discipline. And I have like been really motivated and had lots of discipline, and then it was rough. And then I had to find another gear, because your body is constantly adapting and changing, and there comes a point where I'm at where I actually like my body, and it's becoming harder to push my body to that next level. So it's requiring more discipline, it's requiring more focus in terms of watching how my body's responding, making sure that I'm tracking my food absolutely, as accurately as I possibly can, getting my water in, getting my vitamins in. For the average person who is just trying to be healthy and live their best life and be able to frolic in cute pictures, this isn't necessary. If I wasn't competing or if I was out of season, none of this applies. But now that I am, that's the thinking that I've got to have. And that's kind of the same thinking that I had when I first got into this, was just figure it out. I think that most of us, if we were put in a situation where they were like, figure it out or your whole family dies. It's really harsh, like, analogy just to use, but whatever, you go with it here. You'd probably figure it out. You would find something in you that would dig extra deep, that motivation when those hunger cravings kick in, you would find it from somewhere to resist. It's kind of what I did. In a nutshell, is just dug super deep, and every single day I tried, and I failed obviously a lot of times, but I just kept coming back. I just kept trying the next day and trying the next day and trying to get the diet tighter, trying to be more consistent, trying to eat what I was supposed to eat when I was supposed to eat it, and as much as I was supposed to eat. It just took literally months of trying. I was not good at it the first month. I tried my very best, but the general shock of doing everything that I was doing, especially considering like right before I started, I was doing none of those things. My body literally was in shock. So I think that that's important to call out. Like that first little bit of fat loss that you have, or that weight loss that you have at the beginning, is generally water weight and your body just being like, what is happening? Just so you know. So don't beat yourself up if your weight loss slows down. Like that's a thing. That's what's supposed to happen. Your body is slowly trying to figure things out. It's a good thing. How long did it take before I saw results? I need to do a post about this and break it down by month. Going off the top of my head, that first month, I saw nothing. I knew I was getting smaller. The scale was going down. Maybe things, sorry, my reminder to eat. Maybe things were less, I don't know, less lumpy, but I was a smaller, lumpier version. I don't know if that makes sense. It wasn't until maybe 4 months, 5 months in that I looked in the mirror and said, I'm doing something here. And it wasn't until maybe 6 months, 7 months that I was like, I'm starting to look in the mirror like what I'm seeing, like what the two things are about to match. What's in my head and what I actually see are starting to get closer. And then I got into a point where I've never actually seen myself look like this before. And so that's when you start like walking by mirrors and you're like, hey, cheekbones. Hey, jawline, haven't seen you in a while. Like, that's when that started happening. And so now, the things that I'm seeing I've never seen before. I've never been this lean before. I've never been this healthy before. I've never been this small before. Everything is new to me. And so as my body starts changing now, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Now I am actively trying to make specific changes. Like, I want this muscle to do this, and I want this one to round out. And I'm now starting to understand what it takes for my body to achieve that in terms of my diet, my exercise, etc. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that this has answered the questions that you guys submitted. Check out my Instagram, follow me, I'll put that below. And I will do another Q&A and you guys can send me more questions. Please like, comment, share, please share, and let me know what I can do to help you guys. I so appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next video.